There's about 3 or 4 coming in during the evening. Then you can unmute. And obviously, if you've got a question for them at the end, just unmute again. But it's easier for us lot. Right, thanks for turning up. Another good dollop of photos on. This is from last week. That was me sorting the photos out. And I had to stop because Rushan fell asleep on the laptop. And that was from last week's Zoom. And that's just getting a photo of Rushan. It was on the bed by the side of us. Right, last week there's no worm wheel, but there should have been, and this was proof because I took it halfway through, and there's the worm wheel, was it? But when we went through these photos, for some reason that one never come up, meaning that's me ate a memory to go onto the worm wheel, and it never showed up. So God knows what happened there. Well, it's on tonight, so we'll have 2 goes on there. Right, I'm still misspraying when the sun was off. These are me Gladys. It's just soapy water, just for the aphids. In fact, the fruit trees, well, everything has a misspray. Because everything has aphids. And this was at Lidl last Sunday. I got my first Oster ever. And I picked this one just because of the variegated leaves. With my canners, I like the variegated leaves. And I thought that'll do me. As with canners, with a flower as well, that is a bonus. So I got me a space for him down the border. He's still stuck together.
Any more osters, Mick? We've got a few yet have.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, quite a lot. When we cut them up, you can have some.
Oh, good man. Because they'll go at one of the meetings.
Yeah.
Boston.
Okay.
Brill, cheers Dave, man. So nice all that ready for him, what size. The name of it's on there, I ain't got a clue. I'll just call him Clive. But the sun's still off him, so I'll give him a good waiting. Paul was away on holes and I did his waiter for him. It's the back garden. Well, you have to tell his Paul's because there's bananas and bloody canners everywhere. Nowhere for the kids to sit or the... But he's got a few little chaps. And that was at the start and at the end. You see quite a few canners opened up. And he's just opening up there. But he's going to put some photos together for next week from when he was away on holes. He went around a few nurseries or whatever. And he do his back garden as well. I did take some photos myself of his back garden, but he'll explain better than me. And who turned up this afternoon? He had to come back for his keys and he gave me a bottle. Of course, we had to have a drink. I just drank with him to be sociable. I can't let him drink on his own. And that's what he bought me. A bottle of Dorset Knob. Thank you very much, Paul. I was going to drink that now, but I'll have it later on. Because I ain't been in the fridge to warm. Right, Jerry Edwards off Facebook. And now the pruning of my own 300 tree orchard begins. Just have to get him to do a quick zoom on his orchard. So it's got to be a size and a half. And he can talk us through what fruit trees he's got and whatever. Right, a few months ago, Dave from Chesterfield put on a little electric sprayer. I can't remember the price of that one. But Colin bunged this one up. He sent me the link if anybody's interested. I think you just plug it in and charge it. But he reckons the mist on it is superb. I haven't really had a look at that yet. I saw this birthday cake, brilliant. When your mum gives you a cake for your birthday, she still insults you. Obviously, I'm still a kip in bed, bloody clothes thrown everywhere. I like it. Right, compost bin. Since we've had this good weather, the lid has been off skew, meaning air can get in. I mean, air gets in anyway, but I don't want to cook, although I've got white plastic around. If you keep them nice and moist, the worms will stay there. If they aren't moist, don't forget they breathe through the skin. If they start drying out, they're going to clear off, go deeper, meaning they're not going to break down your compost. If you do keep them moist, i.e. carpet lid, whatever you got on top, woolen blanket, whatever it is, if you don't like using carpet, then I'll still be doing the work. You have to. Right, I'm still doing what Jeffrey mentioned a few weeks back. He said it just going down at the hole when I get them out the front and then it drops off. He said you ain't doing everything else. You ain't using this lot around here. So all I'm doing around is going around 1/4 each week. So there I've just scraped off a couple of 2 inches and then taking more compost off there. Same thing again, there's still lumps in this bin, you still break it down. I'll just take out the big lumps and the worms and they will go back into the bin. Because what I want to use is I've got a potney canner up this one. Exactly the same mixture. So it's clover compost, topsoil, and then one part of each of that, then 2 parts of my compost. So that's my next pot size up to him. He actually knocked him out there and he does need potting on. Right, he's a good size, this pot's a good size deeper than him, so just for a better drainage as well, plus that's going to break down eventually. There's some rabbit muck, and this was a bit of that giant tortoise manure I had as well, so I'm going to give him an extra feed. So I've got the level there. I built that pot up so it is near enough level. Took my pot out, got him out ready. It was in nice compact, he would just stay complete. Being a bit root bound as well, he ain't going to collapse. Right, make sure he's nice and upright. Turn him, put him in upright, and then turn him round again 45 degrees and make sure he's upright that row as well. Top dressing, anything that is in a pot, you know it's gonna, anything in the pot, it's gonna dry out quicker. So I just put a top dressing on it. It'll keep in the moisture, helps keep it in. Like down the side of me beds while they're in the garden, they've got wood chip as a mulch. This one is a rabbit muck. Perfect. So the bits of rabbit crap that's in there, that's even a bonus. Give them a nice good watering. Then I put him on a flat slab with another good watering until he's drained. Right, carrots, when I get them, I usually get them a good dollop from Lidl, because the hound likes them as well. I always take the core out of the carrots, meaning I only freeze the outsides. Why? Because the worms will have them. I ain't wasted them. You put babbies in my them. Right, he's brought back down on the grass. If you remember when he first opened, the weight of that flower, he didn't snap off luckily. But I had to tie him up and it's worked. He's still going strong. But I ain't going to take that string off just in case. Right, going up the garden. This door was near enough shut for some unknown reason. Because this weather, obviously, I'm going to shut the greenhouse during the day or the night. And I knew Rosie couldn't do it. I couldn't really push that or whatever. I mean, if I wanted to get in there, I could get in there because you got a nose, push it open. But I couldn't push that shut. And I was confused. When I did open it, that bag was on the floor. When I got to the end, someone had been in here, upturned everything. Oh, it's only a pot. That's where I got me rock dusting. Put that earth that out. Obviously trod on that. And all I could think again is my little mate the fox. Then looking at everything else around the garden, you'll see where he's been digging on one of my raised beds, my glady bed there. And that was wedged in there to stop our Rosie getting close to it, because both in the goose gogs have got thorns on, meaning I don't want her to get spiked. So I've put across the front to stop her getting thorn, and he bloody took that down as well. Whether he jumped over the back end of this fence and landed on it, I don't know. But that's where he got in last time, and that grid is still there, it's still secure, so it didn't get in that way. But there's a load of places where he's been digging behind there. And so he's been digging there and moved all the crap there. And there's a nice hole this side of my line prop until you hit the concrete, where I've got my the plants in there. But we'll come on to him again in a bit. Right, taking the hound for a walk. These elderberries are just fruiting up now. In fact, they're dying off. But these are half the size of what they normally was. I mean, when I used to get me wine, collectively wine, I was twice the size of this. And all I can think of is we ain't had that much rain. I'm not swelling the fruit out. But I ain't gonna bother. That was the same bed again, and I missed these two. There was two corms straight out where the fox had been digging. And I found that later on. And inside of there, now that label was obviously there inside the greenhouse. And he was out of that pot. How the hell has that come in there? Fox, you're out really wicked me. Right, chilies. This is Scott's chili. But now I'm getting a good length on them. I've got a jar ready, and I'm going to pickle some ready for our show. All I'm doing this video. So on the right length, so they stand upright in my jar. And me cormlets that are down the side, there's a few of them opening up. He's a nice little chap, Shalimar. Right, this is the same morning or the same day where I saw the damage with fox. And it worked until I went to put something in the bin. I noticed this was all this foliage. I mean, me looking down there, I couldn't see none of this because of the foliage. But when I went to walk down there, this door was off the front of the bin. I thought, what the bloody hell's going on now? Then I looked into it, and I thought, was all this? I mean, the door clips on, and then I put black tape over the front of it, just as an extra, because the door clips, they ain't that much cock. And I leave a bit folded over, meaning I can open it on this way. Now, some way, whether he got his claws in or whatever, but he took that front door off, and there was not one worm. Then I Googled it. Do foxes eat worms? Yes, they do. They love worms. So I've got to sort him out. First thing I do is pick everything up, throw it back in, and then secure that door again. You can see the tape behind it, the black tape. And when you come round, well, you don't see the tape there. God, no.
I get a lot of trouble with a fox down the allotment.
Yeah.
And I've got like a sonic thing that you put in the ground. It's just and it emits a sound if it sees movement, and you can set it for a fox. And I haven't had any bother with it since I've had that thing in the ground. It's called bark stop or something like that.
I'm thinking of our dog with a.
Ah, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
There's also some stuff I got from Pets at Home, and it's I think it smells like fairy liquid, but it's like a green gel.
Yeah.
But that's for cats, getting cats off. But that seemed to work as well. But then if your dog's rushing around in it probably wouldn't like it. So difficult.
Well, boy, shotgun sorts them.
Only one way to get rid of a fox.
And shoot it.
It's Nigel.
Mick, when you got the door on, how about putting a bungee cord all the way around? Then when you want to get the door off, just roll the bungee cord upwards.
Oh, it's an idea.
So if using the tape, then it'll be more secure.
Oh, but if you've got a penknife on him, I'm knackered, you know. Nigel, he's got to be an SAS fox. The crap what he's done.
Mick, they don't like glass.
Okay?
They hate glass foxes.
Glass.
Just with glass, they hate foxes.
Unless of course it's a bit with pups somewhere.
Yeah.
I put a lot of glass down on it. And a lot over the road. Another problem again.
It's a stranger. Right, my gladdies, my velvets, I call them velvet. But they ain't much cop for show. I got 5 on there. They don't produce enough blooms, I don't think, for exhibition. That'll be alright for our show, if we get him on the day. This chap I had as a cut-in 2 years ago off my next door neighbour. So, last year they did nothing, and this year he's showing signs, luckily. Suzanne put this on during the week, so I nicked it. Best year for Charlotte's ever, thanks to the Sunday Zoomers with me, telling me to thin them out to get bigger bulbs. Therefore, I'm going to try this again next year, and the smaller ones in the tin. We'll be going back in about October time. Nice one, Suzanne. Right, quite a bit of the stuff is scented in here, and well, anybody walking past can really smell it, but most of the stuff is coming out now. There's just that one little corner there for some reason. The training petunias ain't covered as these lot are. But the bougainvillea is just coming back into growth again. There's loads of stuff like up the back here. There's a rose. Now he'd finished. And because of this weather, obviously I'm waiting and feeding still. And he started back in as well. And there's quite a bit of stuff. Well, it confuses us. It's going to confuse the fruit and flowers. And then bougainvillea. Nice, dark, shiny leaves, green leaves. And the flowers just went back on again. And the white flowers in the middle. Now the back is plastered with a pink. My new Alstromere I got, there's only one that's still to open up, and he looks like a purple, which I haven't got one at all. So it should be open for next week. Tesco spent coffee grounds. I'd run out again. Brought him back home, put him on my office. There's my little chap. Put one of them in the show. For some reason, I've got quite a few of these. They got no tops on them, all growth from the top. And just, I don't know. I've had a few like it. You only need 5 flowers for the prim. So you
Were they off your corblets last year?
What's that, Nigel?
Were they off your corblets from last year that you grew from corblets last year?
Yes, yeah. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it'll be the fact that the first time they flowered off corblets, you'll get a bigger corm this time, and there'll be a proper spike next year.
Oh, brilliant. Lovely. Right, because we go back to the hot weather again, I've got a wallop in the greenhouse. So, self-raising flower, drop of water. And I'll give that a wallop down that end. Right, opening my bag of spent coffee grounds. Obviously, I've got to take all the crap out, which I'm going to. just like a tea bag opener, and then I just break it up by hand, and then just lift the side up once that's dry, especially this weather. If you dry it all out, then once that's bagged up, that's going to last for yonks. If there's a bit of moisture in, then it might go mouldy or whatever. Gonna do this lot now in the greenhouse. I'll get down a good dollop. And just walking in there now, you can tell the difference just of that side. Obviously the sun is this side, and then at the end of the day is over here. But the heat's, most of the heat's gone off it. Well, it's only chilies down that end anyway, peppers. But it works. Oh, Paul. Our first keep us up to date. Evening, Paul, man. All yours, mate.
Okay. This is from last week, and you was asking about the dahlias. Said some of them didn't look like they were opening out properly.
Yeah.
So what I did, I took a couple of photos for you, which are on here, and hopefully it's self-explanatory, like which is finished and which is actually just coming. So I based it on that one there, which came from seed. Packet of seeds that I bought in January from, I forget who it was, but they're supposed to be double palm. Well, there's some sort of dahlia, don't ask me what it is, but it's about 6 foot tall, that is. I haven't dead-headed it or anything. It's just an experiment, see how big I can get the tuber for next year. So we'll see what happens with that. Okay, mate. Okay. These are the spent ones. As you can see, they go like, they almost get to a point at the end. And that's, I mean, a lot of people just take them straight off, but you can leave them and they will get a seed. So you'll actually get a seed pod there to do your own dahlias from seed if you want, but I've never done it. It's just as easy to buy seed or tubers, so I never bother. Okay, mate. That's one that hasn't opened yet. I'm sure you can see the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it gets pointed. I think it just closes up. That one underneath is just starting to close up. It's had its flower, and now it's going to seed. So that's that. Okay, Mick. Yeah, that's it. Again, finished. Okay. My plums. They're doing quite well this year. I took one off yesterday and tried one. They're a bit dry. Normally they're quite juicy, but they're nice and ripe, but they're not as juicy as what they normally are. They're quite dry inside, but I'm not worried about that. It's probably the best year I've had for plums, so I'm really pleased with them. Okay, Mick. Right, what we're looking at here. Oh yes, this is the tomatillo, Scott. It's in a greenhouse, so it was a bit of a funny angle to try and take a shot of it, but as you can see, there's plenty of fruit on there, and you can see the size of some of them.
Looking good.
Yeah, they're definitely twice the size that they were last year. And the plant is also twice the size, but that actually came from when they drop and then they start to go transparent.
Oh yeah.
I actually left one on the floor inside the greenhouse over winter, and when I picked it up, it had just rotted away totally, and all that was in there was the seed. So I just ripped it open and threw it into a pot of compost.
Yeah. And
this is what come out of it. This one and a couple more. So it's a lot stronger than the seed that I bought originally. So I'm really pleased with that.
Yeah.
Okay, Mick.
Most, you know.
Well, that's me aubergine. Hopefully for the Malvern show. It came off Peter Glaz's book. He gave me some seed last year. First time I ever tried to grow one, other than when we had one at the garden club, didn't we, Mick? We had a few years back.
Oh.
Yeah, I did rubbish with that, but I don't want to say too much about this because it's going all right at the moment. That's the second fruit that came on. The first one rotted, so I just cut it off, took it off, and there's one up above it as well. I might let that one grow as well, but we've got roughly about 6 weeks left. Size-wise, I don't know what I can compare it to really. It don't look very big there, but it's probably about 8 inches in length. And as for the girth, I wouldn't have a clue. But it's
good.
Yeah, it's coming on all right. I'm quite pleased with that. Okay,
One, two.
Nick Mon, 3, 4.
Yeah. Sorry, Paul. Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't think my mic was going to. Bit of advice on the aubergine.
Yeah.
What I would do above it, you can see some other fruit forming.
Yeah, I've took a load off.
Okay, just take all your buds off completely,
Yeah.
and side shoot it. I don't know how tall the plant is, but don't any side shoots. If you've got plenty of foliage, take everything else off. All the flowering buds, let everything focus on that one fruit.
All right, okay. Yeah, because it ain't looking bad, to be honest, Nick, that one ain't. It's only probably 18 inches tall, that plant.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, the aubergine is half of the plant, the size-wise, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. But I've been giving it loads of feed and stuff, so we'll see what happens. Okay, Mick. These are some of my heavy peppers. They're a bit slow this year. They're just starting to come now, to be honest. Normally I've got a few that are red by this time of year normally, but these are still in the juvenile stage. So again, they've got 6 weeks, so I'll just bang loads of feed into them, see what happens. Other than that, can't do much. Okay, Mick. What the hell is that? Oh, that's yeah, sorry, this is when I first started growing the heavy peppers. I had some seed off 40, and this was the original seed that I had off him, but I'd still got some left, so I thought, you know what, I'll go back to 2017, 2018 and see if these seed will come. And I'll tell you what, they have come. So I've took the genetics straight back to where I was when I started off.
I think people misinterpret the length of the time that seed will last. A pepper seed will last 10 years. As long as you look after it.
Yeah, these are growing well. You know what I mean? It's totally different to the one I've developed now, but it's very light in colour, if you can see. But it also grows longer rather than girth on it. I think I grew one in 2018 that was like 10 inches long and about 5 inches across, but it had got no weight in it.
It's the wall
no weight
thickness.
at all.
The wall thickness counts for the weight.
Yeah, it didn't. I looked at it and I thought, Christ, that's massive, you know what I mean? But it just didn't weigh anything. So we'll see what happens with these.
Is that a sweet pepper, Paul?
It's poblano pepper.
Oh, okay. Poblano,
yeah. Okay, Mick. This is what I'm currently feeding with. They give me a schedule to start off with, but I do my own thing now. I just look at the plants and I think, well, I'll give them a bit of that, give them a bit of this, give them a bit of the other. I'll give them a double dose of that this time. So I've got no fixed regime that I do, if you like, you know what I mean? I just do it, and touch wood, I seem to be getting away with it at the moment. But I don't know whether you saw how healthy all the plants were looking. I've been using that liquid ice product of theirs, which is supposed to stop wilt. They've actually developed it for the Sahara Desert, growing stuff there, and it was over 40 degrees in that greenhouse when I took the photos, and that's all I've been using. No wilt, nothing, no fans in there. The only ventilation when I'm not there is the automatic opener on the top, and it still stays at 40, 42 degrees. So the force field as well. I didn't get that in time last year, but I've used that all the way through this year, and I've got no infestation at all of any type. Whether a spider mite and all sorts last year. Again, I shouldn't say too much, should I? But touch wood, it's all looking good at the moment. So, have you been using it, Mick?
No, mate.
You ain't. Well, it has worked. Well, it's worked for me. So. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's me radish that I grew last year, but I ain't got nothing at all like that this year. In fact, the radishes are absolutely rubbish this year. So I won't be taking.
Did you grow that in the greenhouse?
Yes, I grew that in the polytunnel in a bucket. Sorry, okay. A dustbin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know whether you can see it. See how it's got all them odd things coming out the top of it.
When did you start that?
I actually started that about March.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this year I've been late, and they're absolutely rubbish, Nick. Absolutely rubbish this year. Gone to seed straight away.
Yeah.
Not putting any weight on, no growth on, nothing. So, yeah, I'm disappointed really, but oh well. There's always another year.
Mm-hmm. This weather don't help, Paul. Don't forget.
No, that's true. Okay, Mick.
Cheers for that, then, Paul.
You're welcome.
Good man.
Thank you, Paul.
Right, these are my gladdies in my tunnel, top of the garden. I'm still using Velcro, as you can see around here, to get some twine. And that one was a prim. So 22nd of the 5th. Got him up 8th of the 8th. So that was for him 78 days. I put all labels on all of them because some of them are obviously inside the tunnel and the greenhouse, and the rest are outside. And all I want is a rough idea for next year. Right, the last of me little cuttings or whatever, end of the greenhouse where I've got my peppers. I want to get rid of these now, meaning pot them on, keep them out of the sun, and put them in the shady side of the greenhouse, which is this side obviously. So them all going next pot size up. This is me Alstroemeria. This is a new one, a dwarfen. That was one of them Joad Scott, Pearl Wolf, Pearl. I got 2 of them going. I think I had 2 out of the 5. I've got 2 left.
Nice.
This chap, give me them cuttings. I'm putting them on as well. But now I think I've lost all of them. But there was a bit of growth on the bottom, although the top had died off. He was still trying to kickstart. So I thought, I'll help you out, I'll cut your head off. Because it's finished. And if you haven't got here, like the cock up I'm head here, because this is in the sun most of the day. And I just tried it like when you make some a bottle for your baby. When you put it on the back of your hand first, make sure it takes a while. And I did that with this. And it wore red hot, but I thought, bloody Nora. You can't feed plants hot water. And it's common sense, it's in the bloody sun all day. So now that is in the shade at the bottom. And I checked on there daily. So that has cold water straight out the butt. At my water butt. So all them lot now are out of sun. And if they don't make it, then they don't make it. As you can see there, this is in the shade, this side, all day. Perfect. They've got vents, 2 windows there, got automatic vents on, doors always wide open. That's squeezed open with a big long pot and all. So there's ventilation all the way through. Right, pickling chilies, 200 mils of white vinegar, same amount of water, 20 grams of sugar, saucepan, big to boil or whatever. This is for the show, don't forget. So I measure me white vinegar out, and then me 20 grams of sugar, which was half 11 tablespoons. Right, chilies, he fits nicely, so I'll get him out and call you as to length. Before I do sort him out, I'll pull that bit off. I don't want that ended up in the vinegar. If that's in the jar and it's been looked at, the judge will down point you. So I've got a good dollop, reds and greens. So I've bunged them in and then just chop the top off. Obviously, I've got to get the lid on. So I've done that with all on. Right, a bit of grease-proof paper inside the lid because it is vinegar. If the vinegar does get on that lid, it might turn it a bit rusty. I know it can take too long for the show, but whatever. The judge will look at everything. And I want to class them as so peppercorns I'm putting them. I can then put spice on. Because I'm spicing them up. Right, it's brought to the boil. Dissolve all the sugar and it's cool down, obviously, before it gets pulled in. And then seal it. Pickled chilies, spiced. Oh yes, we've got it. There we are. Can you all see that, troops?
Yep.
Good. Might get away without any cock-ups. Kathy or Colin, Kath Holmes. Kathy, I was close there.
Thank you, Mick.
Well
Thank you,
done,
everybody.
Kath.
Thank you.
You have another holiday down the line, nobody wants that one. It's only weekend mine. This little Beirut.
Little Romania.
Whoa! Rolly. Rolly, I've got some sheep up on the way.
Yeah.
Right, this was down Paws when I was waitering him. And just going to flour. So
Hey, that's tall as me, that is.
Sorry?
Today. Tall as me, that is.
Is it?
Yeah, it's tall as me. I'm 5'10". I've shrunk a bit. But it's the top of my head anyway.
That's the side of the cup.
Is that what it is?
Right, my cormlet's up the side of my tubs. Another duffin there. So he's coming straight out. Another one there. If they don't look very good, they ain't very good. So they come out. And I'm still spraying. I'm doing more spraying now when the sun goes off. Because I'm down the plot, I've got more time to myself, looking after my stuff, which is even better. That's why I'm spraying them little chaps there. Right, there's I think that one and this one. So I've got 2 beds here to top dress, and there's another one on the front around the side, and then that's the lot done then.
Mick,
So
what are you spraying the gladioli with? Just water?
just fairy liquid, yeah.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
thanks.
you.
It blocks the airways to the aphids,
Right.
but you've got to spray the following day as well. That's to get rid of the eggs that hatch out overnight.
Oh,
Oh,
right.
great.
Okay. Right, thank you. Cheers.
That's all we could use up the school with the kids. But if I did miss a day, i.e. the day after, then
Or a shotgun.
we'd still got them. For the kids. That's cruel. Cruel, that is. You can't do that nowadays.
Sorry.
Yeah, all right, mate. Exactly the same again. A mixture of clover, topsoil, and my compost doubled up. So I'm taking the straw off, and straight away there's worms underneath here, which is what I want to see. And the good thing about this as well, when I do top dress, I can then, if we go back on that one, like he's tilting over a bit, he needs uprighting. So when I do top dress, I can slightly persuade them to stand upright. Just help them along. Then put the straw back on with the muck. Give it a good watering. And then move on to the next one. So that's them two done down the side. This is my last base bit I got to do here. So if you remember when I started off the Gladys, the first lot went in here. And these are opening up now, as you can see. So that's my first one, and this will be my last one. So with a bit of luck, I should have some for our show. I better any road. So I've got my mixture ready, and my straw which I've taken off there. Top dressed in, put the straw back on, all done. He's had a good soaking. And that straw will now keeping the moisture and the warm. Raspberries are doing well. Don't get first year with these, and the fruit's just coming on now. But because I had a duff plant up the end here, because I've left the extra shoots off this one this end, and I'm now using them on these two canes. And you can see there's one there. So here's a side shoot from the bottom going up, and there's another shoot, and he's going up this cane as well. So I'm still utilising all the canes. Because if you use all the shoots off each plant, it's a bit too thick. I want them air movement around everything. So if there's any disease about aphids, then they won't be there. I'm just tying them in there. You can see that where I've come off there. And he's going up there, and the other chap. I see there these are about 6 inches above the top of the cane. Once they get a bit more weight on them, if they do start going over, because I can still reach a foot above them, I might put another cane on them to extend them another foot. But we'll see how we go. But I'm tying up basically, keep everything not hanging over the side of the pathway. But so far, so good. Right, if you remember last week, all my sweet peas that was down this end, I cleared that lot away. And then I made like a wigwam up here with the sweet peas that was growing there. And they did well. It worked well. It was string that. Well, but that's just about finished now, so I'm going to job them. Let's clear them off out of the road, and this chap's going bloody haywire. Right, Gladys, this is my second trough that I've planted. Right, I've got a spare half hour. I've got some dried goat muck. So from that I broke it up into small lumps, and I'm going to bung it through the shredder. I can then use it by the handful instead of lumps. So I bung that through the shredder. The largest bag I've got is a 100 litre vermiculite bag, which comes right to the top, so there's no dust. If it was a small bag, there's always a gap, and you get dust flying everywhere. But these vermiculite bags are perfect. Look at that, beautiful. Right, this little chap, if you remember. Rose Campion. And that was the flower on him. I think it was Colin who mentioned he was a nicer. And he wanted some seed. He's just about finished. You can see there's quite a few dried off. So I'm going to chop him. Everything I do chop back, I always leave about 3 inches on, so I know where the plant is. Never take it back to ground level. So that'll tell me, remind me what was there and whatever. So there's my little chops I've kept for seed. And that's kept in the greenhouse. And after a couple of days, all these opened up themselves. So I bagged a few of them up. If anybody wants any seed of them, Colin, I know you want one. Just let me know and I'll keep you a packet. If you're local, then I'll save you one. If you ain't local, then I'll post you one. Right, our second inputter tonight, Scott.
Evening.
Evening, sir. All yours, mate.
Yes. That was just as a reminder, if you remember, last year maybe, and it's a prickly pear. We grew it. We did that bit at the bottom. There's a pad we bought from the internet because the tortoise is supposed to like it, and so we cut. We put it in a pot, and it was early days of the Zoom. I put on a couple of pictures of it, but it just keeps growing like an alien. It's weird. So, and it's covered in prickles. I have to keep scraping them off so the cat doesn't get spiked by it.
Do you pop that on at all, Scott?
No, that's in the original pot that I put it in. That
you
first
feed it?
pad we bought. Nope.
Wow.
My sister lives in Portugal, and she said as soon as that first one at the top that started, the little flower, I said, "Oh, it's flowering." She goes, "Burn it quickly," because they ate them over there because they could grow like weeds, She said, "That'll never die. That'll never die." So yeah, we water it occasionally, and that's as soon as you cut a piece off it, it thinks something's going on. So another flower comes out, and then another pad starts growing. It's fascinating thing.
Pretty prolific then.
Yes.
Send one to me. Send one to me. Which box?
Sorry, Scott. How long did it take to get to that size, and what size is it when you had it?
That's probably 2 years now. That is.
And how big was it when you got it?
We just that bottom piece.
Just that bottom.
Wow.
Which we bought that pad off the internet because my wife was looking into tortoise food, and so we just planted it in a pot, and that's what happened. So yeah, it's mad, isn't it? So just thought something different. So all right, mate.
Can we move on to your raised bed?
Oh yeah, look at that! Look at that beauty. Yeah, that was. I hadn't quite finished it then, I don't think, but there was. Yeah, I started filling it. Obviously, that's been a bit of a mission to fill, but I'm there now. So that was a car full of manure that went in. So I literally filled the car with manure.
Filled it. You got
in bags.
You got a gap there. Get another bag in.
Yeah, I run out of bags.
Dumpy bag in there.
Yeah, I run out of bags. So there's a place near me that lets me go and help myself, which is quite nice. And then the local allotment association put on the local a WhatsApp group thing they've got going, free wood chip. Oh, it was just at the right time. So I went down there, filled the car with wood chip, literally again filled the car with wood chip, and so that went in the bottom of the bed. Then hops, about 8 bags of hops went in. Then the manure. Then I had leaf mould, and then I had a compost bin full of compost down the allotment, which I emptied into a barrow and buried it back here, and that went in. And then rock dust, more manure, and then I had to. It still wasn't filling up, and it dropped as well, obviously, as the weeks went on. So I ordered in a big bag of topsoil. So and then and which again rock dust, and then sprinkle. I wasn't too sure about but I didn't like buying in the topsoil because you don't really know what's in it, do you? But I added in a bit of fish blood and bone as well, sprinkled that on, and that's like a watering system. It's a dripper system from Greenhouse Sensations. I've got one in the polytunnel down in Ottman. It seemed pretty good, so I put that in first before I planted anything up, and each dripper gives a litre per hour.
Oh.
So, and it's 15 metres long, I think that is. So, you can get extension bits for it as well. So,
No.
so that looks pretty good. Yeah, and just attach the hose to it.
Scott, is the water off the mains, or do you run it off
Yeah, that one's off the mains, off the home. I just attach a hose to it.
Okay.
You can get different ones. You can buy one for an outside tap and one for a water butt. Must be a different pressure, I suppose. And so the one down the allotment, I just hook up to a water butt. Yeah, and that's right on the ball there. That's my bougainvillea before I repotted it. It was in flower. So anyway, because we're planting all these things up into the bed, we've got loads and loads of pots coming spare. So I decided to pot it on into another pot. So that's on one of the other photos, I think. So, sorry about the bed sheets in the background. Don't tell the missus.
I wasn't going to say anything.
At least the drawers aren't on it.
Oh,
So yeah, that was again just filling it, and then Donna was cutting down the foxgloves and stuff, or pulling up the seed heads, and she was just chucking them in there, hoping they were going to reseed next year. But we'll see. So, and there it is after being repotted. Yeah, lovely plants, isn't they?
nice. All on.
So that
Banana in the back. Banana in the background on the last picture.
No, the
Last picture. Mick back one. There in the background. He's 8.
yeah, might be. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Go on, mate.
Yeah,
Go on,
in
mate.
the middle of the
grown. Yeah.
Oh, that one.
Next year.
Yeah. They're going really well. Both of them. Yeah. So on that next photo, Mick, there's a little pot next to the bougainvillea, and that's Donna. Someone told about this. They're hydrangea cuttings, and you wrap moist tissue around the cutting, and then plant it in the soil. And apparently the roots then grow down into the soil, and then after a few weeks you can prick them out and pot them on, sort of thing. But I've never seen it before, but she'd read about it, so that's an experiment we're doing.
Good. Keep us informed.
Yeah. And that's filled and planted.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. So once it's established, it should be nice. I mean, it's planning it. It's a bit of a headache, isn't it? You got to say you got to get it. I'm sure we'll move stuff around. But I put
nice
one of the bananas in. Sorry.
Nice brickwork.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Cheers. First time I've ever done it. Yeah, not bad for a plumber.
Bananas look well.
Yeah, banana looks nice. Yeah, but so I put one banana in there. I've kept one in the pot. So, do you have any of yours in the ground, Paul? Your banana?
Yeah, I've got one outside of the back.
Do you dig it up and store it? Or?
It's up to you. You can, but you're down south, are you? Very pretty. What you do is get some chicken wire, roll it in to cover the main stem, shove it over the stem, cut the top off the ball. You have the crossbad cross, lay it down, stuff it with straw inside, then put a bag over the top, tie the bag.
Right.
It should come back
I'll
next
try
year.
that. I was hoping in the brick wall it might hopefully be insulated. But we'll see. Yeah, so I was pleased with that.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to do an edging around the bottom, so on the grass. So, but that's when I get time.
Oh.
And that's the Polyanthus tuberosa. That's one of the pots. I've got 3 in a pot. It's coming on nice. I've got.
How many of them did you have originally? Was it 5?
I think I had 15 bulbs.
Oh, yeah, the 15.
Which I bought 10, and there was about 15 in the bag.
Yeah.
So I've just planted with it. The ones down the allotment haven't really happened. But the ones at home, I've got 2 pots like that, and I've planted a couple in the chili pots in the greenhouse. and they've done all right.
Yeah.
They're doing okay. Yeah.
Because these are scented, aren't they?
They are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't see any flowering stem or anything yet.
Mm.
So I don't know. Maybe it's planted them too late. I'm not sure.
No, it'll be all right for next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just get them established for next year.
Yeah. And that's I've got a nice few chilies coming on my hydroponics planter. It's called a fatale. It's really, really hot. Stupidly hot. Have you got one?
No.
I'll send you one.
Looks like backside.
Yeah, yeah. They go yellow. They are beautiful chili, but they're lovely flavour. But you can't eat many at a time. You know, in a dish. I'd never eat one off the plant.
I grew them quite a few years ago.
Did you?
They're nasty.
Yeah.
I reckon Mick could eat one.
Go and suck egg.
Yeah, they're nasty. I grew 3 or 4 plants, probably had 200 or 300, and I didn't know what to do with them in the end because no one wanted them.
Nah.
Yeah.
That's it. I give them to the local curry house like Mick does, perhaps.
Yeah.
Very much.
Sweet potatoes.
That's me sweet potatoes.
Paul. Give them to Paul.
Like a carpet.
Recognise the leaf. Oh.
You're gonna get a crop. You're gonna get a crop off them.
I hope so. I've got them. I planted them through a black membrane in a raised bed.
Yeah.
And I did that a couple of years ago, and it was the best crop I'd ever had.
Oh.
So I'll grow them again.
Scott, where did you get the slips from?
Marshalls.
Okay. Yeah.
I get them from there every year.
And plugs now, Nigel.
Yeah, they are plugs. Yeah, they are plugs. I did get slips before, but they do plug now. And I used to get 2 varieties, but this variety, the foliage stays low. The other one, it goes absolutely mad. I can't control it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see the tendrils are going into the water tank already, and I have to keep sort of poking them back in again. But that's probably that was taken on Tuesday, I think. Now it's even bigger and more lush. Yeah. But there's an Indian guy across from me, and his wife, who does all of their cooking. He's from Bangladesh, not India, and she wants to keep pinching the leaves because she said that makes like a sag. She reckons it's the same taste as sag, which is spinach. And I said, well, don't take too many because I'll need the leaves, obviously.
What did you say that's called? Scott, what's that?
Sweet potato.
Yeah, but what is it? A particular make?
I think it's Beauregard.
Oh, and when you dug them up, how long do they keep for? Do they store well at all?
They do store pretty well, yeah.
They'll store the same as potatoes.
Potatoes, yeah.
How many do you get from them?
Sorry?
When you dig up a plant, how many sweet potatoes would you have there?
I'll let you know.
3 or 4.
Yeah.
They really are a subtropical plant. I mean, the biggest crop comes from the USA. I buy them in. We pack sweet potatoes at our factory. We buy them in from Egypt, America. Egypt's quite a big one now in America, and they are, like I say, quite subtropical. So to grow them in this country and get a decent crop with the weather you've had this year is probably excellent.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they've really blossomed, but they haven't even flowered. They haven't flowered yet, and then so they'll flower soon. And then go on.
I was just going to say, how many have you got in there? How many plants did you put in?
9 plants, because I bought 10 and 1 died, which they refunded me for.
I've put in 5 this year, and I'm growing them upwards rather than letting them troll along. So I'm growing them up poles.
Yeah, I have done that before.
I've always failed with sweet potatoes.
I think they call them guam, don't they? It's it's no relation to potato at all.
No.
Completely different.
No. They're a strange plant, but I always look forward to digging them up.
Big bird shit, isn't it?
I'll put my method on next week. How I used to do them.
Okay.
Because originally I started just a raised bed, because I know you need the depth or a bag.
Yeah.
And then it's common sense done tropical. So then the next year I just mucked it, watered it, and covered it with a black and white plastic, black side up, and that kept in the warmth and the moisture.
Yeah.
But instead of putting a plant up and wasting it, I just go in the side and I lift the plastic because you can move the soil because it's not compacted. I just take a spud off that's big enough to eat, and then earth it back up again.
Okay.
But, I'll show you. I'll put it on next week. I'll show you.
Yeah.
But
okay. And then,
I'm a versatile veg. I can do loads with them.
Yeah.
Oh, I love sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
We do a lot with them. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Much better for you than potatoes as well.
Yes. Great.
Same family as convolvus. Exactly the same leaf and the same flower when that comes on.
Yeah.
All right. Oh.
So, and then someone gave us these in the week. I don't know if anyone knows what they are. I didn't know what they were. I thought they were beans or something.
Are they French beans?
Nah. They're like they've got a furry texture to them. They're wisteria seeds, apparently.
The wisteria seeds.
Wisteria seeds. Never seen them before.
No.
The woman who gave them to us across the road, she said she leaves them on the windowsill to dry, and she hears a pop of a night time when they're watching the telly, and it's dried and popped, and all the seeds go everywhere. So, so Donna's going to put them in a paper bag, and so they contain them, sort of thing, and just leave them on the windowsill to dry out.
Oh, great.
And then we're going to try planting a wisteria. So.
Oh, God help you. One of them, man.
Oh yeah. So, and that was in the garden. That's an elephant hawk moth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I had one of them down the plot a few years back.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Beautiful things. Yeah. Smashing. Yeah, that was just a No, this one. So we went to Yorkshire on holiday, and we were walking around Reef, this village, beautiful place, and there was this little shop that we went into. It was in their front garden. So Donna was in the little jewellery shop thing, looking at something, and I was looking around her garden, and I said, "Oh, what's that? I've never seen that before." And it's called Angelica, apparently. I don't know if anyone's ever come across it.
Yeah, I've seen it.
But it's apparently it's related to the carrot, apparently.
Yeah, I'd seen it. There's a place called Abbotsbury, tropical. We went there the week before last. They had them there. Yeah, incredible plants.
Just beautiful colours, and the bees are all over it. So I was showing an interest, like you do, and she said she took me name and address. She's going to send me some seeds.
Scott,
when it seeds up.
Whereabouts in Wraith is that? Because I know Wraith. By the village green, is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. There's it was something like Dragon Arts and something or other.
Right.
And it was like you would basically walk into her garden, and she sits by her back door, and then you take you into her little outhouse and look at her jewellery and bits and trinkets and she obviously like a bit of a sort of hippie type woman. She was nice, and so we got chatting and say she's going to send me the seeds. So, but she said it's like a carrot.
Yeah, we've got some. We'd down in Derbyshire, it grows quite well. We've got some tucked in a bit of a sort of corner behind the shed. In fact, I've just cut it down because it had seeded, and it's probably about 9 foot high when I cut it down.
Yeah. But it was quite a central piece in her bed she'd made, and it was just unusual. I took a picture of it. Might be of interest to somebody. But, I'm going to try growing that if she sends them to me. Is that it? Oh no! Oh, that's me cauliflower. Look at that beauty. That's my first year growing cauliflower.
Nice.
So I had 2 varieties. One that you got me, Mick, and that is Skywalker.
Yeah.
Off your mate, and the other variety just bolted.
Oh.
When we went to Yorkshire, I had someone else water the plot, and it was down that really hot week. It was like the first heat wave.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Perhaps they didn't water it enough. I don't know. But so when I got back, the others had bolted. So, but I've got 3 of these ones, and they're just massive. We had one last night. We had a cauliflower curry last night. Beautiful. But yeah, no, they've grown really well. But I've just watering. Brassicas have not coped with the heat very well. The Calabrese, that's all bolted. I had some really nice heads off that before we went away, and then they've all just gone to seed now. So I keep cutting them off, hoping they're going to regenerate. I don't know if they will
Back
or
again,
not. Yeah.
I see everything needs water, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But it's rainwater, not tap water.
I know. But when you get someone to water your plot, they never water it like you would, do they?
No.
So
No.
they don't have the passion for it. So
Yeah.
but they've been a success. So that was all good.
Good. Excellent. Cheers, Scott.
Cheers.
Good man. Right, 2 chilies and the heavy pepper. This was off Lee from down South Wales. I dished a few of them out. Carolina Reaper out of Paul. That's my first fruit, as you can see there. With him, to go back on this one, as soon as the sun goes off these, I mist spray with just plain water underneath, i.e. hitting the flowers. That's just help pollination. I do that with all of them, just in case there ain't enough little chaps in there to pollinate for me. But I stripped a few off him. Now he's a good size sweet pepper, except of course he eat very well, but he's got crap on the top. But I'm still going to grow him just to see what size I can get out on him. But that's happened with quite a few of these peppers on the sweet peppers this year. Right, delphiniums, I've bagged all them up. I asked people what they wanted seed wise. There's some on leg bunging out to our Liz. I licked that stamp off another envelope, so could stick him on. Here's Lizzie's. I sent them out last week with a winnings liquid fish, and there's on them. The only one which was 5 that had been the purple one, but I got no seed whatsoever. Strange. If you remember, as the stuff was all going to seed, about 2 weeks before we had them eye wings, and it snapped quite a few of them, although they're bloody tied up. Snapped quite a few of the branches, and that knackered up the seed process. But from 5, I've got nothing. And delphiniums 1, that's what I was separating and sending them out that way. Aquilegia large yellow, there's only about 4 or 5 people asked for them, but there's loads of seeds off them. Got Russian at the door. So people who are local, Mick Clayton, he's going to have his. Neil, you can have yours when you come to the show. And Steve as well. So I shall hang on to them. Like liquid fish, I had to start doing these again. Obviously I use these when I do my talks. I bought one of these and they're off the price. But I needed one for Lizzie to send out with her delph seeds. So I got a load of neat containers out, and I started editing them out and putting my labels on them. The dregs that are in these, I'll then upend to make sure I get all the crap out. So them top's taken off there, then the top's taken off there, and that's draining there. And I give these a swill out with a rain waiter. Put that in one of my buckets. There's my onions drying out, and come on to them in a bit. So that gives me the incentive. Liquid fish weekly feed. Spread out evenly in the sun is my spent coffee grounds. Drying it out. Once it is dried, then I'll mark my little chap here. I'm going to turn him around, see what happens. Because Andy says leave these old stems on, but I've got new growth at the back, which I've got to tie in. So I've tied him in that way. Like him, I'm going to take him off, and I'm going to move him onto that one. Because he's going to stay upright anyway, the old original ones. So if the new ones, I'm putting these clips on. I'm just lifting them out of the pot. Got some decent roots on the bottom as well. Right, Rowley sent me some photos. He said, I saw some sheep muck and thought of you. I said, that's very kind of you, Rowley. He says, thank you very much. He could have given me more details into the muck, but he sent about 58 photos, but I'm only going to show you 3, just in case you get excited as what I do. And I've asked him earlier on, and I'll give him a talk later on in November down his place. And he's going to collect me some and dry it out for me. He's a good lad. And there's his little babbies. Cheers, Rowley.
No worries, Mick. I thought you might like that.
I do. Love it. Right, this weather. I'm up at 7, 20 past 7. I'm usually out with the hound when I've done the paper round. And then we take it out. And there's loads of them out by there. But I has a good run round with the mates. There's the bellies again. These chaps are doing well, the indoor trailers. In fact, I've took them out again this afternoon. They was bone dry and they had a good soaking. Less than a week ago, but obviously this weather, I'm going to dry out. So he's gone out. And this one, Sue, you'll recognise him. He's doing great.
That's the Tradescanthia.
Easy for you to say.
Purpurea.
Purpurea.
Yeah.
And I should forget that within 2 minutes. But he's a nice chap. And he does well. Just hang him up on the line prop and give him a good wear to him. Leave him a couple of minutes, then give him another good wear to him. And so on. Till
Have you had that one long, Mick?
Sorry?
Have you had that one long?
That one you just mentioned?
Yeah.
I think Sue bought it in the Bringer by June this year.
Right.
Was it June, Sue? You bought
Yes,
it?
and it was potted up. It was just cut-ins I've stuck in. It must have been about May time. It roots very easy. Just take a cut in.
Yeah.
Stick it in a pot and it roots.
Your best bet with them, Mick, is take fresh cuttings every year and discard the old plant, otherwise it'll get leggy.
Yes.
I think
you find it dies off. So just stick it in, take the cuttings then and just stick them in water and they root and then pot them on. That's what I've just done today with some.
I think they call them the Wandering Jew.
Yes, that's right, they do.
Yeah.
It's very easy to grow.
Nice. I like them though.
I do too.
I had to go and buy some jute string from a well-established little chap on the 5 ways, Green Leaf. Right, nice sunny day again. I've said that for a few times now. So the indoor plants are coming out regular for a good watering, good soaking. And thought we'd lost him earlier on, but he's coming back again. Right, recycling. My bags, I've had them vermiculite in from the tradie sheds. I'm now going to turn them inside out and use them when we spend coffee grounds. Right, this lot is now bone dry. Broken all the lumps up. So once it is bagged up. Right, onions have come back into the house. As we can see there, this is the kitchen. The gaffer's gone away to have her hair done. So I can get away with bringing the onions in. And I've got the hand with me. I've got to clean the root plate up. So I stand them up. I need a 2, a 3 and a 3. Right, going outside, taking one at a time. This is so Willie sees you outside. In fact, in the end, I discarded that tea towel just only between my legs. But basically, if I had a good thumbnail, but I cut my nails 2 days before I had it braided together, so I had to use a knife. But you've got to use outside going in, just in case you slip, but you slip it inside, not outside. Because you don't want to cut any of the skin. It's got to be nice, intact. So slowly, I just get the knife in, and I'm easing it in with that thumb, just pushing it. so he's nice and clean. Now that bit there, I've still got a bit to get out there, but I've got enough nail to get in there to get that bit out. But a judge likes to see a nice dried off root plate. So I've got motive off, I've got them little bits there. I'll get me nail in or the edge of that knife, but you've got to be careful. There it is, nice and clean. If there is any dirt back in there, I mean a soft toothbrush. If you don't use your own, use the boys. They won't know. Just get the bits of rubbish out of there. Clean it out, bung it back in the ferry. No, you've got a little smile on his face. Now normally I use talcum powder on the bottom of these, but I ain't use that for yonks for myself. I used to use foo-foo in the mall. That went out of fashion, meaning I ain't got none. So I'll just press soft tissue on it just to take the wetness out of that moisture. And there they are, all done. These are left on the side for a few days. I'll see if I can get away with them being put there. See what the missus says. You're laughing at your plonker. You don't know how lucky you am. Triffage all the way up the stairs. You get away with it. I don't know how you get away with it. Right, four prims that come out. Really, there was a class, British Gladiator Society, the 3 prims, and I didn't realise that they would. And then all got to be the same, so I could have took him out. And I could have put them 3 in, just as a go. But I'll know next time. Like my prims. First and second trays now, these are coming on. And that's a singular beauty. Love them. So as you can see there, 15th and the 9th, just 82 days he has taken. So that's outside in one of these beds. So when I cut them, I shall have it all. So there's that one I've just put in. Then the other little chaps are in that vase there. There's my mate that's opened up, and we're off next door neighbour. These are still flowering on Keith Centres, Keith Hines. Right, my Delphs. If you remember, that's my first Delph growing up. So he was blue with a black in it, I believe. And he was the first one I cut back. About 2 inches of growth was done, and then as soon as you cut all the crap off, you water and feed straight away to get a second growth. Now this ain't too long ago, obviously. You keep feeding, and there's the flower edge on straight away. So I am going to, well, especially this weather now as well, this is going to look after them. I keep them nice and warm, and as soon as the sun goes off them, they get a waiting anyway, except for tonight. But we're going to have rain, hopefully. Right, blackberries, late blackberries. That's this year's growth, obviously. Next year's, I've got 4 going up here. There's another one just this side. But when they get to the top, all I want is 2 going across the length of there. That's for next year. These 2 will be stopped once they get at the top of here. So I'm just letting him bend over a bit, and then I should tie him up. But all these are tied on the outside. So originally, if you see him there, he sneaked underneath. So I'm going to pull him out. So I'll cut that one again. And the most supplest, best time to do anything when everything is nice and supple is dinner time. And you can pull them out easy, and they won't snap, hopefully. So then we're all tied on the outside, and they're tied up as well. Look after them, ready for next year. Right, that little yellow chap, he just started coming through. What was he? Cosmere, yes. We'll come on to him in a bit. Right, it was still too hot for me chilies. So I made this a bit thicker. And I've walloped that on, only the top off. Now if you remember this little chap I'd have Colin, he met him in a service station. Well, it was McDonald's. And he gave me a pour one. And you just see a yellow flower on there, which I was chuffed about because I ain't got a yellow one. Got to pot him on. Next pot size, these was from the florists, obviously because they got no holes in. And that's what they get the flowers in. Transport them back. But they either bin or return these. I've had loads of these for the school, disabled plots and whatever. And they're ideal for growing carrots in. Multi-purpose compost. And it's just so thinly. But obviously you've got to put your own drainage on it. But one of these was perfect for potting on at canna, at Paul's. So I put a holes in the bottom, with a bit of paper around the bottom of there, just to stop any crap out. And I put a bit of straw on the bottom as well, in the rabbit hole. Exactly the same again, clover compost, topsoil, my compost, which I'm going to get out the chap again. So I'm just taking the carpet back, loads of worm there, so it is nice and moist. Different area. Bring that back in. Take all the worms out. Pull them back in. And there's my end product ready to pot on my canna. So I've taken him out of that pot. As you can see there, he does need potting on. So it's good timing. So I can lift him up a bit. So I start putting the bits and pieces in at a good level. So I've only got to pack around the back of him or all around him, which I've done there. Pushed it in down the side. Pull my pot out to leave the mould. Make sure he's in nice and upright. And then pack round in here with more growing medium. Now I've got a top dressing. Straw, if there's any bidlups, I'll break them in half. I'll do it hanging out so the hound will nick it. Don't forget he's got rabbit muck in the hole, which is another bonus. Good watering on my level snab. But still quite a bit of colour in the back garden. Some things are dying off and other things are opening up. Especially with this weather, things are starting up again, which I thought had died off. Right, Arkman next door, I think he's 87. He's still, last year he was fit as. Paul, yes, Mom.
How many cannons you got now?
Not as many as you, Paul.
I'm only asking how many you got. You're getting quite a...
There's 3 in there. 4, 5, 6. Probably 7.
That'll double next.
Don't.
That's more next year. Go.
Donna's very impressed with your grass, Mick.
Yeah.
She said, "How's this grass that green?"
Tell us weed and feed.
Yeah.
We ain't bragging, Paul, but we got 20.
Oh, 116 so far. That's your first year.
Dave, we need a photo as proof.
I know.
Get some photos.
Have you got Cleopatra, Dave? Dave?
Sorry, what was that?
Have you got Cleopatra?
No.
No.
You need to get it.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
I need one of your cuttings, Paul. That yellow and red one. Next year. I like the leaf as well.
The flowers even better.
Right, my neighbour next door.
Nick.
He's 87. He likes his gardening. He likes his veg. Tomatoes, flowers, veg behind there. This year he's had trouble with his brassicas. There was a disease about airborne. It's got to be an airborne. There's quite a few people who had it. Knackered up all his brassicas. He's had a bad year with runner beans and his tomatoes. His cherries are all right, but his tomatoes, and he's very disheartened. But he's got to the point now, this could well be his last year of gardening. He's getting that old or unstable on his feet, unsteady. And I can remember further being exactly the same, except further, it's the same as everybody. You're still thinking I'm 30 or something. You're fit as a fart in your way. But further, he went a bit dizzy doing too much. And he nearly went head first straight through the greenhouse. And that was his sign. He says, right, that's it. That's my sign. I've got away with that. And that's when he gave up gardening. Give up gardening in the sense that he didn't do so much. He still loved his garden, but he didn't do so much. But it worked out well for Father in the sense the mother come down with Alzheimer's, and Father had no choice. That her mother couldn't be trusted in it. So Father had to learn to cook straight from scratch, and that was his new hobby. But luckily he loved cooking, and he used to make bloody Cornish pasties for all the neighbours, and he was bloody great. But Artley next door, I can't see him getting anything else, but it's disheartening. It's like me, I said that's why I'm all raised beds, working from waist height. Well, except with borders. I'll still be gardening when I'm 108, but you don't know, do you? You don't know what's around the bloody corner. But that's life. And the missus says next door, look at the state of. I said, but we could have a neighbour who's a pain in the arse, a neighbour from hell. I said, I'd rather have that like it is there than having some arsehole living next door in the road. Let's move on. So, the canner's doing well. That one I've left down here because that's one of my tallest ones. Originally, he was up here, but when we had them winds, I thought, although he'd been potted on into a bigger pot, I didn't want to put a cane in to hold him upright because I didn't want to put the cane while he was going through. So it's easier to leave him down here when he's out the wind. But everything's still coming through, post from here, whatever. Right, that second coating I put on, because it was nice and thick, that is perfect now. It's like a curtain. And going in there now, it is beautiful. And this stuff here, nice and cool. Right, this is a new one for me this year. This is Princess Margaret. Where am I? Yeah. I've got them inside and out. That's Deacon's lesson. Dissident. That's a new one for me this year. I like him as well. It's got a nice pink tinge. You can't really see very well on that one. But a nice pink throat. Beautiful. Most of my gladdies, I've got some inside and outside just to see which do the best. I'm going to say everyone indoors is going to be better than them outside. Right, all my frames, top of the garden. This is, that's the last year, shallots in there. But all these frames, I've got to look after them. Because I've took the lids off. That is only left on because on top of a hill when we have the winds. It is bloody windy as hell. So basically that is just a windbreak from when it comes from the west. But I've got to look after this timber. But before that, I've got to fill all my gaps with no nails. Because I know you got decent weather for the next 3 or 4 days. That's what I thought of doing, and I had 2 good full days. Now this stuff which I walloped our fence with down the side of the garden, I'm going to wallop the raised bed as well, the new raised bed with this stuff, and the fence the other side. So all the timber, so I've done the shed with it, will be this. When I put that no nails on, by the time I'd finished, because I'd gone around the lot, I'd sealed the lot all the way around. By the time I come round to the first bit, it was solid as hell. So then I give it this first wallop, and then by the time I did the lot and come back to that, I started it again. And I got away with it. Right, late blackberries. These have dropped down again. If you remember earlier on in the season, I top dressed these as well. Now these, luckily for me, I've got about a 10-inch stem with nothing on. That's an old little side shoot there which I can snap off. But all I'm saying is I can top dress again with these just as they am, just to help them out. Fruit wise, I'm doing well. That's me purple goose gog. Still loads of fruit on him. I'll get the shows 2.5 weeks. That's my green one. But all them are finished. But when these are planted out in the proper places at the end of the season, when everything's dormant, they'll be ready for next year. Sun's off them, spray them. There's another duffin. This one's in the tunnel top of the garden, so I've got him out as well. You can see there's the comb. That's where he come away from. Right, my little chap that I've turned round. Let's see, here he goes. That's another one, Princess Margaret. Now, looking at that one, now this is the back of the plant, but if you're looking at them four, it's the front of the plant. So if I go around the other side of him, this is looking the other way. So the top half are pointed to me, the bottom half pointing around the back. But as I mentioned before, you can manipulate them, and that's what I did. Just easing them slightly round so they're all facing the same way, and that's what I did. You know, I've done this before, and you think you're doing well, and you hear a crack or a pop, you think bugger, and you've just broken the flower off from him. Then obviously it ain't worked. But with this one it worked. I've got them all facing the same road, so I could have got away with him.
Do you have to wedge in anything between the flowers, Mick, to keep them there?
If he was going to be for exhibition, I would have done, yeah. Say a bit of a cotton wool, something like that, something soft.
Yeah, if you can move them into position, just wedge a bit of cotton wool ball, like Mick says, leave it there for a couple of hours, it'll set in that new position.
Yeah, but I got away with him.
And am you better off doing that at a certain time of day, like early morning or late afternoon or something?
You're better off doing it in the middle of the day if you can, like, you know, when they're a bit softer and sun's been on them a bit more flexible. You do them early morning, late at night, you'll snap them.
Yeah. Nice and supple dinner time. So everything is coming on well here. It's just been last there, I've got close up on him now. But that's that canner off Colin, the yellow one. I'm quite chuffed with him. Sorry?
Give pound for that.
You can suck egg or suck a chili. But he's got a red throat as well, which is what I like about him. Boston yellow. When you give me the plants, when you drop them off, she says, they'll ask me what colour they are, I ain't got a clue. So.
You know the mixed flowers, eh?
Yeah.
As you come down the North Doyle, this was the off there back to on seeded seed put, they're going to seed put them. Get seeds off them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Seed pods. Fill up. You've got season. Come on.
The call here when you turn away, Paul.
They got as they get older. There's a few feeling season.
Oh.
I'm going to play it. Pick them off.
You ain't got room.
Yeah, well.
You ain't. Which is this one? Decadent or decandent, I don't know how you pronounce it. Nigel, how do you pronounce this one?
Well, if it's supposed to be decadent, it's wrong colour.
Decadent, oh.
If it's decadent, D-E-C-A-D-E-N-T.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be white with like a red stripe in the back of it. So yours has got the bit of yellow. So either he's got them mixed up wherever he had them from, or he sent the closest thing you've got to it, but it's not.
But it is one of the best ones I've had for, no gaps.
Yeah.
I'm filling out. I like him. Right, my Oscar I planted out. He's starting opening up flower wise. So it's nice sort of light purpley blue with a yellow inner. So that was a bonus. Now this rose top of the garden, he had finished completely. We thought he had. Then because I feed everything and wedge everything. And with this warmth, and he's come back into life again. This is the scented one. So that's an extra bonus, top of the garden. My gladdies, once I've got a bit of, they look a bit naff, I'll just take them out, cut the bottoms off, take all the crap out and put them back in again. So I've still got the goodness out of the top of them, because I've took all the crap off. And the rest of them wedge that paper and just hold them upright. Right, when we was on holiday, I've got another pickle to do. When we had that week away at Aileen Island, and we got there, and we had a pint, obviously ice cold, really too smooth ball, and we had a prawn sandwich, and inside was the old cucumber and red onion pickle, and that red onion pickle I hadn't had for yonks. And it reminded me of my gran used to do it years ago. And I thought, that's it. So Pep had a go at home when we come back home. Says I'm gonna. So I looked at it and did some. And obviously you have to slice it all off. Once you've done like this, got your vinegar in. You have to put it in the fridge for about 5 days. And then you can sort it in. But I nicked it for our show. And that's one of my extras because we've got a class for any other pickle not mentioned. So pickle cucumber and red onion. It don't look very well. It does now because I put a hat on top on him. So I've got 2 raspberry jams to go in, 2 jars of pickled onions, pickled beetroot, pickled chilies, and then pickled cucumber and red onion. Getting ready for the show. So there's a schedule, 2 of them, 1 of them, and 1 of them. Be prepared. Right, we had salmon the night before. So the next day, we did 2 extra. So I got 1 for my dinner the next day. And there's 1 for the hound. So I'm going to have me a salmon sandwich with the rest of this pickle. Right, my bonsai, bougainvillea. There's me weight on to persuade him to grow out. He's been on a week, 10 days, something like that. I'll cut him off and he ain't sprung up. He's still going the way I want him. So I persuaded him to go that way. Now he's still doing well because he's giving a bit of colour here. But when it goes dormant and it starts off again next year, then I shall lift him out and move him around so that he's pointing this way, the length of my pot. And that moss, hopefully, I can get away with saving him as well. So far, so good. Right, wine's the next thing. Got to sort my wine out for the show. If you're bottled, it's surely it's ready. No, I want mine perfect. Look at that. Banks's crate. That's got to be worth something now. This is an old, solid one. Banksy's beer. I'm still finding pubs that have got it, Banksy's. Right, mini. Right, you can see there's a bit of dust on them. Dragging them in. Sultana rum. This is a good one. Evil, but a good one. What I'm doing is clear all the crap off and I'm having a look on the bottom. Because the first thing the judge is going to do is pick that up and shake it. Because there's any sediment on the bottom, and it's going to go cloudy. It doesn't look to be any sediment, but there is. There's a little film on the bottom. So slowly, and if you've got a good eyesight, you can see it's a strong one. You can see like the cloudy bits. Let me zoom in on there. You can see it's evil stuff. It's like a liqueur. But I'm going to get him out. Cork comes out easily, and there's a sediment on the bottom. So I've poured him out into a jug without it bubbling, so it doesn't disturb that sediment on the bottom. So I've left that crap in the bottom. Now I'm going to swirl that bottle out. That's all good stuff in there. I've cleaned the bottle out, put my bungee back in a bit. Right, I'm a bit short, so I'm going to top up my water. And then put the cork back in and upend him a couple of times. Now don't forget I've got a good brew in here, so it's still going to be a good taste because it was strong to start off with. Now that's another wine I did. It was either blueberry or blackberry, where it's that strong it colours the jar as well, the bottle, meaning it might look cloudy, so I've got to clean that bottle off, and it had got some sediment at the bottom. Cumberland Brandy Red Dry, which is another one. So I just do every one. I pour it out slowly so I don't disturb the crap. And there's, look at the colour it sent, that one. Was that the blueberry one? Yeah. So how strong it was.
Insides.
Sorry?
But just imagine what it's doing to your insides.
Yeah. And that one, I've never had that before, Cumberland Brandy. But blueberry, I've never, that's the first one I've ever done with blueberry. I'll do all of them. And there's another one, sediment on the bottom. So they've all been done. Well, I needed a few more out. Potato gin, that's an evil one and all. That's Boston, that is. Anything to do with tater. Right, my Banksy's crate, when I had a little curve at it, I've got a bloody hole in the bottom. So I had to do a bit of knitting. With all my bottle dropping through that hole. So I had to get some wire and hold it together. Right, now I've got to sort out which wines I've got. Because we've got red, white in the schedule, dry, medium and sweet. So I'm going to find a dry, sweet. So I've done that lot. I went to the garage, got another load out. Obviously, dry, sweet. 3 of each. Because there's first, second and third in each class.
Oh, back out here, look.
So I had to leg it back in there again, but these are dwindling down one by one.
Because I want to know.
Right, I've got loads of them now. Yes, Dave?
I just want
Sorry,
to.
Sue.
I've been racking wine today, and I just want to know, when I show it, do I have to put it in special bottles? Have they got to be special?
No, any bottle will do.
Huh?
Any clear bottle.
Any clear bottle will do.
Yeah, but it's got to be a removable cork.
It's got to have a cork in it, though, hasn't it? Not a metal top. No, that's not.
Can't
good.
be a corkscrew cork.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right then.
It just makes it easier for the judge to take out and in.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
As long as it's a clear bottle.
Lovely. Thank
Yeah.
you.
When they sell red wine, Mick, they sell it in glass that you can't see through very well.
Green or brown, yeah. We have to show, if you're showing, you have to show it in a white bottle, a clear bottle, then they can see if it's clear or not. It's just for exhibition purposes.
Put the light on, or shall I go?
I've got to go to the wine shop.
So getting them ready.
Corks.
Got me dry, white and whatever. So then back to the schedule. I've got 3 of a sweet red. I'm just putting down what I've got. I've managed to get 3 at least of each class. Some have got 4 in, 2 got 4 in. So I'm more down in the schedule. Went in the loft and found these out. First, second, and thirds. It's got Colligate Garlic Club. There's a few I got missing, like Sandwell Show. But that's only for the kids. If we get any kids exhibiting, then if we will or not. There's my yellow canner. And I run out of beer a couple of nights ago, linked down the newsagents. He hadn't got no John Smith smooth bore cans, so I know it's Newcastle Brown Ale. I haven't had one of them for Gordon Bennett. It'll be 20 years. I used to drink that regular up in Newcastle. And I thought, and I brought back some memories. Beautiful drink, love it. So that went down well. Princess Margaret, I'm liking this little chap. So this was inside. Inside the tunnel, of course it was all. So that's 74 days inside. And there's this little chap. Which one was this one? Descendant. And the other one was Cream Perfection. I think.
The pink one Mick was that you showed before was Celine.
Celine, that's the one. You got it. Nice one. Right, Cosmere, I'm looking into this. I googled it this afternoon because I was getting lost on all of them. And what it is, gladioli rust. Basically, if you grow these next to gladies, you can get the rust. I mean, I've got no rust on my gladies, but that's what it's called. And even these small little chaps, you just open it up, a little red one with a yellow inner. And there's rust on them as well. Strange but true. And this yellow one, which is just opening top of the garden, and that was pure green when it come out. Within a couple of weeks, turned rust. And it's just bloody weather conditions. And it's just the last week 2 show has just ended. In fact, yesterday. I've had a nose on there, and Steve got another. Is it a third, Steve? I meant to ask you for a photo. I hadn't got time earlier on, but I did come nowhere with mine. But that starts up again in September, I believe. Here was one of mine I put in, Singular Beauty, and these. They come nowhere. But I bugged them in the road, and that's it, guys and gals. Hope you have enjoyed tonight.
Rick?
Yeah, thank you.
Past an hour or so, Aid.
Very good.
Paul, do us some photos for next week then.
Yeah, I'll sort them all out.
Like the nurseries you went round and your back garden.
That's all I do, one.
People will be impressed with your back garden and stuff you've got.
No,
So much of it. Paul, I'm rubbing it in now, you plonker.
It's really good.
You want to, Paul?
Still daylight up north, look. Nearly dark here.
Getting dark in Chester.
Yeah.
I've been like here. Again.
He's under the umbrella and all. It's still daylight at Paul's. Paul, it's getting dark here. You pay your rates.
Yeah.
You're less than a quarter mile away.
I've got some lights on, look.
Where are you, Paul?
In the back garden.
Oh, just in the back garden?
Yeah. There's me
You need to see pictures of your garden.
There's a clear factor. I'll do some pictures. I've got to sort it all out first.
Good man, good man.
I'll tidy up. I cut in the grass. The steer is gone, man.
Has anybody had rain yet?
I've lost myself.
Yeah, gone, man.
Rain for it.
How can I lose
It's meant
myself?
to be rain. Apparently, probably the same for you, Scott, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's meant to be raining Tuesday now.
Oh, Tuesday now.
My
Is it?
husband said. My husband just said, yeah, it's changed from Monday to Tuesday. So I said, oh, then it'd be Wednesday.
I think we
Then it'd be next
forecast.
Wednesday.
We forecast tomorrow afternoon. I think 2 p.m.
We was forecast tomorrow. Well, tonight.
Yeah.
But it's
Getting
moved.
pretty desperate, isn't
It
it?
keeps moving. It is desperate, yeah.
They said there could be thunderstorms as well, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of days, I think, of thunderstorms.
Go from one extreme to another.
Floods.
Ready to save the water. Make sure you've got room in your water butts.
We've had massive fires around here.
Like goes up fence from me while washing his patio earlier on.
Did you see that Wellington fire? About a month ago now, on the Sky. It was Wellington. No?
No.
It was massive, like loads of houses. That's about 1.5 miles down the road from here.
Oh, the fire.
Yeah, massive fire in Wellington.
Yeah. My mate lives in Dagenham. I work with, and he
right, yeah.
put up.
I'm
I
in
think you were
Raynham, so
posting at the same time.
Yeah, probably.
But
It was terrible.
scary.
Absolutely.
Made me check my house insurance.
The road just down the side. There's been fires down there. It's getting closer to us now at the minute.
Wasn't he saying it was caused by someone's compost heap catching?
I think so. Yeah, that's what they said. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what they said. Is the whole house went, didn't it?
That's what happens with the farmers when they're doing the hay and it's still a bit green. And they stack it, it bursts into flames.
Cheers, Nigel.
Where that was is sort of just, it's sort of not in the country, but there is farmers' fields right behind it. So, and right in front, the other side of the road as well. So there's just farmers' fields all around.
There was the picture of a farmer, and his machinery had gone on light.
I heard about that today. Yeah.
There was a picture of it. Yeah, so everything's tinder dry. It's
Terrible.
Dangerous time.
My grass is like that outside. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's dry. It's just yellow, and the park down the bottom of the road is yellow as
I've lost my
anything.
picture.
We
I'm not going to get away with it going smoothly.
Pray we get some rain
It's
soon.
dreadful.
Right, troops, I'm going home.
Okay, yeah.
I'll see you all next week.
Good night, mate. Yeah.
Good night, all.
Thanks,
Cheers,
Nick.
Good night, all.
Night,
See you, mate.
Bye,
Nigel.
everybody.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
See you all.